Hey everybody, Brendan Smith, that's Juan John, and this is Toby the Beagle. Welcome to the Heartbreaker Guitars YouTube channel. Today we're going to specifically be talking about the different sizes of Lowdens. There are 3 different sizes of guitars. Well, technically, Juan John, there's actually 4 if you include the wee Lowden, which is the little baby travel-size guitar. So with Lowden, in terms of full-size guitars, there are only 3. The S, the O, and the F. And Juan John, we're going to look at all 3 of them and look at the tonal differences and, see how they sound.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. So we've got 3 guitars with the exact same specs. California Cedar over East Indian Rosewood. So Juan John, what do you got? Let's see, you've got the O size.
Yeah, the O size.
Okay, so that's the jumbo size. O stands for original, and the original Lowden guitar was a jumbo size guitar.
Nice.
So let's jump right in. Toby, you okay with that? Let's jump right in. Let's hear the O, and then we'll play some of the other ones.
All right, here we go.
Nice and full, open, loud. Now the O is probably the loudest of all the Lowdens. It's,
yeah,
it's
got
which
a big
makes
voice.
sense, pushing a lot of air through that sound hole. Now let's have you do the exact same thing with the F size.
Okay, cool. All right, so this one feels a little bit more compact. So this is the F size, correct?
Right, the F size is the one that's right down the middle. The F, Juan John, is the most popular size because it's not the small, it's not the jumbo, it's just right in the middle.
It's a little more focused, honestly. It has a little more focused sound in the mid-range. Still, that openness is definitely there.
I heard the highs a little bit.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
more.
more.
I hear that one's quite a bit warmer. This has a little more highs.
I agree. So
Yeah.
that's...
Yeah. You ready?
Right, it is warmer, a little bit more bass presence.
Yeah. That just has a much looser low end, and it's bigger. And this has a much more focused, tight low end.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're more used to hearing something like this because it's more of a standard shape.
Right.
I think, and so that's why we're thinking what we're thinking right now.
Gotcha.
What do you guys think?
Okay, yeah, let us know in the comments section below. Let us know what you think, what size you prefer, and if you like the Cedar Indian Rosewood combo. So, Juan John, let's jump in and take a look at the S size, which is the smallest of the full-size Lowden lineup. We've got the O, the F, and now we're about to look at the S. Okay, Juan John, so now we've switched it up a little bit. Now you've got the S, or the small size Lowden, and I've picked back up the F. I've got the F, and this is the O on the stage here. So let's hear the S a little bit. Plenty of power and volume, man.
I was gonna say the volume on this is quite a bit more than.
I'm gonna strum this one. You've got a heavy hand, so I'm gonna try and hit this pretty hard.
And it's almost like a secession here. That's warmer, this is brighter, but louder, punchier.
It's really responsive and punchy. Now let me ask you this, Juan John. Okay, the 3 different sizes. A, do you have a preference? And B, do you think these different sizes are applicable to certain styles of play?
Yes and yes. These guitars are so well made, you can hear the difference quite clearly. For me, my preference is this little one here. I wouldn't say it's little, it's actually fairly large. Fairly decent sized guitar.
I would classify this as, it's not really, doesn't have quite the surface area of an OM. It is a little bit deeper though. I believe it's about 4¼ inches deep.
I like the depth.
Yeah.
The mid-range.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like most about it. And because I do play a hybrid style, finger style kind of thing, it's definitely suited for that. Very focused mid-range, very punchy low mid. For me, my preference is this.
Let me hear you play a little bit in your style on this guitar on the S. All right, now. You're right, man. The larger the body, the looser the sound.
Yeah. You know, and I find myself too, when I'm performing on a larger guitar, I find myself actually digging in harder and I tend to break more strings. But when I get a smaller instrument where the mid-range is actually cutting through quite a bit more, that volume is there, like on that S model. So the volume's there. I don't have to dig in as much. All of the frequencies that I'm looking for are already in the guitar itself. So that's something to take into account when you're looking to buy a guitar for yourself in the style you're looking to play live or in studio, whatever you're going to be doing with it, or just on your couch, frankly. Like it's something to think about. Definitely, because I would probably break a lot of strings on this thing trying to dig into it with what I'm doing. Yeah.
Wanjan, let's talk a little bit about what Lowden size favors what style of play. In your opinion, like this is the F, I believe you have?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the F. I have the S. Let's start with mine. Okay. What do you think the small body guitar favors? I think blues. I mean, what do you think? You like blues, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And again, this is just an opinion. That is fantastic for fingerstyle blues, Chet style, that kind of, Merle Travis picking, that sort of thing.
The mid-size.
The mid-size. If I were a producer in a studio and I was handing guitars to people to record certain things, I would give this definitely to like a singer-songwriter type for a strum situation. That would be for sure.
Okay, and then the jumbo, the O over my shoulder here, what about that one?
If you're a modern fingerstyle player where you're playing in a lot of open tunings, I can hear that guitar being spectacular.
That's a great point. The open tunings, I agree.
The open tuning on that guitar would be great because it has those huge loose low ends and those big loose notes that you're going to want. So for something like that, it would be that O model.
I think both the F and the O would be great for strumming. But the O might be a little cumbersome for some people because it is such a big body. It's a jumbo-sized body. So again, that's why the F is the best selling. It's the mid-sized. We sell about 5-to-1 Fs versus the S's and the O's. Nothing, it's not better. It's just more common, more popular because the size, people dig the size.
I was going to say, of the three of these, this is probably the most neutral guitar that you can buy. And it honestly, I don't think the woods, they'll make a difference, of course, but I don't think in terms of what we are talking about for the different styles, it's not going to make that big of a difference. So this is just a very neutral body style.
And since you brought it up, let's talk about the woods for a moment. Okay, so we've got cedar over Indian rosewood. Okay, cedar traditionally, it's a very warm, a very rich sound. Not as much headroom as a spruce or like an Addy or something like that. What do you think of the wood combo for these Lowdens?
Honestly, I love cedar. I'm a big fan of that warmth. I love that. It just makes the guitar sound a lot older. I think so.
That's true.
And I'm a fan of that. And cedar over rosewood is such a beautiful, warm, low end. I mean, you still have, of course, you get the crisp highs and things like that with the body style and the back and sides and all that kind of stuff, but you still get that. But there's an added warmth to the whole sound in and of itself with the cedar tops. And I'm a big fan of that because I think to me it just helps it helps the guitar sound not so stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, certain builders favor certain woods. That's one thing I've noticed. Certain builders will, 90% of their guitars are spruce over rosewood. One thing about Lowden, he uses a lot of spruces, but he probably has a disproportionate number of cedar tops, redwood tops versus other builders. So George Lowden, he loves redwood, he loves cedar. In fact, his favorite wood combination is Sinker redwood over African blackwood. Yeah. Hey dude, you're snoring, man. I can barely hear myself over here. But anyway, and I think that they know, based on their design, their guitar design, what woods are going to work best for their bracing patterns, for their body geometry, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's what makes Lowden so unique. I've never played a guitar that sounds, plays, and looks like a Lowden. There's no other guitar on the market that has this look or sound and feel.
Yes.
And it's great because all the guitars at this level have their own sound, look, and feel, but you're absolutely right. That's why they do. And I believe that's why he utilizes cedar as much as he does and redwood as much as he does, because of the style that he's building in. And it's a really super cool guitar.
Yeah.
And I think that unique voice that it has is because of those wood combinations.
Yeah, and I've said it before, Juan John, I'll say it again. If there's one word I could use to define Lowdens, it's clear. They have clarity like nobody else. I mean, it's just...
Dude, and and when you play a guitar like this, it kind of puts you in check, because you start playing, and if you pick up any other guitar that's like a lesser instrument, you're able to get away with things. You're able to get away with.
Less forgiving is what.
Oh, it's a lot less forgiving, and it's going to teach you to be a much better player when you pick up a guitar like this, because you're going to start hearing things you hadn't before, and you're going to start changing the way you play, and you're going to start changing the way you're hitting notes, because you're going to want to hear that clarity. You're going to want to be better on a guitar like this. It's
such an expressive instrument that it's meant and built to pick up on the nuances, the dynamics of the guitar player's style.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. These were all the Lowden guitar sizes. That's Toby the Beagle. This is Juan John. My name is Brendan Smith. We want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for supporting our channel. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.